Good morning, everyone. So today I have this gorgeous showcase launch for Tonic Studios. It's called Fanciful Floral Frame Launch. So this video is sponsored by Tonic, and they did provide these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box are affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So this is the first time I'm actually really looking at this, and I was like, wow. So there is so much on here. Let me show you the example on the back. Let me take it out of the packaging because I always forget to do that and there's a lot of glare. Let me take it out of this. So your showcase will come in a case just like that, or a pouch storage pocket. And let me remove this. To be honest, I hadn't really even looked at the name until I came to do the video, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I mean, oh my goodness, I love that there's an example here for me, because a lot of times I get a sample that doesn't have this part yet, but this is really great. So check this out. So I just want to show you again, Fanciful Floral Frame Creator Die Set. Okay, so if you can see the top and the bottom of this, and it has this insert, and there's another, little insert piece here. Then we have these frames here, even this outer one right here, and this one in the center. All of this is like a mix and match, do what you want with creator set. So there's some examples here. Again, however you would like to use it. Doubled up here, doubled up there, and that one, this one's a little bit further apart. Just with the different inserts and labels, how you can do that if you want to make them longer or shorter, or however you want to use them. It just depends on your paper size. So let me show you what this looks like. So like this gorgeous one has like little flowers and leaves, and it looks like little not like cattails, but just like some kind of flower that has like a little bud or something. This one's just more of a floral kind of spread here, and as you can see, there's this area, and if you would like to, I think you can pop these in there, so then the frame itself already has something to say, or you can just not use that piece, or you can piece it in later if you want to cut your own strip here. Let me move this back over. This one's more like a rose look with the little leaves and just all this gorgeousness here. And then you have an insert, or just a piece that echoes the shape of this one and echoes the shape of this one, where this one has more of this label here. As you can see, this part also echoes this shape here. A little bit different on the bottom depending on what you want to do, like if you want to use this guy. So let's say you use this top but this bottom piece. Oh, hold on, maybe that's what I will do. Looking at it, I thought I'm going to use this one because I like the rose and I want to do maybe some inlay, but this also just completes that look. And then you have this piece that would help you do that. Or again, you just use this piece doubled up, just like in the example, use this piece at the top of your paper, then use it at the bottom of your paper, and now you have a little frame that this piece pops into, of course. This one has a little frame with some words. Oh, it says I pick you. So I'm assuming there's going to be a thing up here like if friends were flowers, or yeah, there is, if friends were flowers, then you can do I pick you. And then you would have this piece that you can cut out of this banner even, and then this piece. So there's this piece, they all coordinate back. This one, I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over because I haven't finished the frames yet, but I was giving that example there. So this guy has the outer die, this inner die that cuts detail. And then we have this piece also that would also nest in there if you want to use that, or you can mix and match that however you would like. This is really great. So we have that piece again. If you want to mix a piece that looks like this with one of these toppers, or double the topper, or double this one and make a long one, kind of like what they're showing in here. And there's just so much. I mean, obviously I'm going to pick a couple ways or a way to use this, but do you see that? The top and that bottom, and then you can put in the different pieces. So again, we have that piece that would complement this shape here, but then maybe this bottom shape here. It would also just nest in this one, because this one doesn't have a specific shape. You can just make a rectangle from it, or square, or however you want, and you can still layer that in. So we have congratulations, you're the pick of the bunch, get well soon, I miss you, sorry, I'm just reading the larger ones. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you, I'm thinking of you, happy birthday, Petal, aw, bloomin' lovely day. Oh, that's so sweet. I wonder, is Petal something people say a lot in the UK? Because I know there's a gal here that's really sweet, leaves comments, and she calls me Petal. So that's really sweet. And then we have thanks a bunch, and then we have sending love and hugs. So these appear to be all like the type that emboss, that push into the paper. So what I'm going to do is grab some paper and see what we can create. I'll be right back. Okay, so actually I've chosen a lot of papers that came in a bundle I recently picked up from Tonic that had to do with the card making magazine issue 14. So some of these colors are very punchy, and then I added some other colors to kind of complement that. What I'm gonna do is make a frame, I think, with this color here, and I believe this one's called Candy Floss. Sorry guys. Yes, this is Candy Floss glitter card. It's awesome. I'm gonna make my frame with this. I'm gonna complement it because I do want to use this little rose one, and I thought maybe I'll paper piece some of the little rose because it's very simple to do here. So I'll paper piece that back in. So I'm only going to cut like that part with red, a little bit of this green. The card base itself, I think I'm going to use this pearlescent card. I might use that for some of the topper too, because I think I'm going to pop this guy in there, or yeah. And then I am going to use this label too, and I'm going to use that with some Mirror Gold Harvest Gold card. I know it's all very shiny. So let me put some of these things to the side so we can cut this guy. So I've already used this paper, as you can see, but I'm gonna take this one and this one, and I'm gonna let this dictate the card size. I don't know what size this ends up being until I see it, you know, cut. So cool. And I'm just trying to see how to line these guys up, if they're supposed to be just right on top of each other, or yeah, I think they are supposed to be just right on top. That looks the best. Okay, just trying to see. And then this guy, if I do use this shape, you know, how far apart should these be? I was going to kind of keep it in its square shape. Okay, so I'm going to keep them close to each other. And I'll cut them from this area here. So what I would do, if you're going to do the same one twice, I would just, you know, put this to the very edge of the paper and maybe to the very top. And that way you have a good idea of where that is. So let's just say I had a piece of paper, I'm going to run this through. So this is going to get cut. But for the next one, just so I know that I've lined it up really well, again, it was across the top, right on the edge. I'm going to take that. This is going to have been cut. I'm going to take this and just, again, run it right along the edge so I know that I'm as straight as I can be, or, you know, really close to that other one. But anyhow, so I'm using two different ones today, so I'll just use that one and this one at the same time. Again, I'm still lining them up pretty good. Just keep that straight side. And maybe a little bit more over this way for this guy. He's a little bit bigger on the bottom. Alright, and then I'm going to glue this down. I keep saying glue this down. Tape this down very well. Of course, I'm going to trim away the excess paper. Actually, if I put this through my tangerine, I don't have to trim away the excess paper. I think for people who have a smaller machine, you'll be curious to know the sizing of this. So let me just cut this really quick, or tape this down. And I'll give you some measurements. This is kind of the bigger, the bottom frame is a little bit bigger, but if I was to put these together, it's about 5.5 almost. And the width of this guy is about 5.5. Okay, so just if you have that in mind. Again, I'm going to tape this down really well. I think it's going to make a pretty quick card, because the sentiment's there, everything's there, ready to go. Again, I'm going to put quite a bit of tape. Especially because I put these dies so close together, I don't want them to move at all. But if you want this to be longer, you can bring it down and just, you know, tape it down. Okay, I will be right back. So just trying that through, and the reason I don't do it on the camera is because when I move it, it shakes the whole table. So I just did that off camera there. So pretty. Just making sure we got everything. And I suppose if you want to run this back through with embossing, you can do that. Wow. So this is glitter paper, so it's very shiny and it doesn't show like this dotting, but I can see if I really look at that. Well, you can see it from the back. So if you were using a regular paper that didn't have glittery effect to it, you would see that. Also, just going to remove that. And it's going to be stuck together in those two areas where it hasn't quite come away here. So because of where the two dyes meet. So I'm just going to cut this away just to cut it away from the paper. So funny because the paper's so bright, it's hard for me to see. Alright, and then I'm just going to take my scissors. You can take a trimmer, I guess, if you'd like. And it's just the smallest connection right here. So I'm just going to, boop, meet from one to the other. And right here too. So you do this for any size frame, if it's longer or shorter, however. If it was much longer, I would probably put on a paper trimmer just to make sure I have it straight. So I'm going to knock all these pieces out. And that's our frame, and we'll check that out in just a minute again. When we put our card together, I am going to use the pearlescent card for the card base, but I'm also going to use it for this topper that I am envisioning using. So I'm going to cut this guy out, just straight cut. Again, if you want to emboss it, you can rubber emboss it. It'll give you that extra little embossed look in here, which I'll probably do just to give it a little more texture. I'm going to cut just this part because I want to paper piece the little red flower in. So I literally just need a little piece of this glitter card. I'm going to put it right under here and run it through just so I can get that little portion. Same thing for the bottom one. It has a little flower too. Excuse me. And then for the leaves, it looks like it has leaves around it. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. This looks like the flower. This is like little leaves. I'm going to cut out this green. So again, just a little piece of this palm tree. And just to get the green bits. And then we'll talk about the topper at the very end, the sentiment die, okay? So I'll be right back. Yeah, before I cut the little glitter card, I have the pieces cut down. I just haven't cut them yet. I want to go ahead and get the base of my card going. That way I can piece the pieces in as I get them cut. So, I did run this back through with an embossing mat. Let me just get this off of here. Just so you can kind of see what that looks like. It did have some embossing just being cut, but I wanted it a little deeper, so I went back a little more. And look at that nice, like, pillowy, soft, like, just so pretty. Okay, so this guy, what I did was I cut a piece of the pearlescent cardstock down to 5.5 by 11, and so it's going to make a 5.5 inch square card base. And so I'm just going to stick that down. I am going to glue it down completely, though. Sometimes I leave things kind of just doing their own thing, especially when it comes to leaves, but this time I want it glued down so I can piece in there and have that pop. So I am definitely going to put some glue all over this, as much as I can. And I'll probably put some glue on the back of my hand, of course, to get those little bits down. Not too bad. This side's more delicate than this top part here, so I am going to put the glue on the back of my hand right now. I just kind of lay it down too, kind of using the nozzle here. Really get that glue in there. And like I said, this side's a lot more delicate, so I'm just going to do this whole side. And that is the side I'm going to use as the bottom, but if you want to go from the top and the bottom, however you want to orient this. And this, if I measure, it's about 5.5 in the width, because as you can see, this is almost touching the very edge. And it's like 5, just over 5 inches in the other direction. So I just went with 5.5 inch square because I thought that would look nice. So I'm going to keep this held down, and I'll be right back. Okay, I turn this over just to really flatten it out. We're good. Okay. And then for this part, I'm just going to take, again, a little tiny piece of red here. I'm going to line it up this way. I'm going to put a little piece of tape just to hold it. But I think I'm going to run this through a smaller die cutting machine, like the marquee. That way I can hold on to it. But if you want to use a larger piece of paper, of course, you just run the whole thing. And actually, if you use the whole thing, you can then just have a red frame if you wanted. But I'm going to put it through something like this where I can hold it, making sure that's going to run through there and I don't lose my little pieces. And I'll do the exact same thing for the green, and then we'll just piece it in. So this is the small bit that's going to go on the top flower. I try to do that very slowly so I won't shake the camera too badly. I like to keep the pieces in one spot, but however I'll find them, because that's kind of why I did that, only that little section. So I wouldn't have to go fishing for the pieces. I can just see them clearly here. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is just put glue in these little recesses where the flower bits go. And I'll do the same thing for the leaves. I'll do the same thing for the bottom area, just removing some of that excess glue. And this little guy goes right here. Looks like this one goes here. That's basically why I just kept it to this little area, so I can mess with these easily. Sorry, I had to pop that one in. This one appears to go right here. And that last little bit, which I think is this one. Yes, it's this one. It just goes this way. Okay, I'll do the same thing with the little green leaves. I'll pop in the green. So down here, red flower, green leaves, and I will be right back. Okay, so just finish that. Just a little something here and there. And this little guy's gonna go in here. Somewhere there. And then this little guy will be our sentiment. And I'm gonna do the thank you. Thanks a bunch. And then the outer die also. So I'm just gonna run this through. The one time, because it should impress and do everything all at once, and it should. Normally I don't have to emboss them, it just works because of the pressure from the first time being run through. So I'm just going to tape this down as not to move. And then just run it through whatever die cutting machine you have. And I will be right back. Okay. Gorgeous. Look at that. My camera is getting really doesn't know what to do with that. It's so shiny. So pretty. And so what I did also is I went ahead and cut another piece in the gold, because if you look at the examples, and some of these are layered up, and look at that. So pretty. Of course, get my fingerprints all over it. What they've done is they've, done a shadow layer, right? So like with this one, you run it through the same way, but then they cut it so that just this area is here. So on this one, to make that happen, they cut it down the center, it looks like, and then offset them. You can kind of see that here. Same thing here, they cut it down the center this way and offset one up and one down. So I'm going to do that just to give it a little another pop of color and bring that gold in to go behind this guy. And I think I'm going to do it in the way that right down the center. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to see how wide this is really quickly at the, it's 3 6/8. Just about 3 6/8, so that's 1.5, and so that's 1 4/8, but 1 7/8 ish. I just want to kind of have an idea of where I'm trying to line this up, just to get it right about center. A little bit more this way. Not bad. You just need a little something. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just line this up behind each piece here, just like that, and glue it down. So just so it's kind of sticking out this side, I'll glue that side down in the back, and then I'll glue this side down in the back. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we have this, and what I did is I put some dimensional adhesive on the back of this once it dried. And I'm just going to put that right in front of me so I can kind of have an idea of what I'm doing before I really stick it down. Over here. About there. And then I also put some dimensional adhesive on the back of our little sentiment. Ready to go. So pretty. I mean, there's just endless possibilities. I mean, mattes, card itself, you know, the sentiments that you can use for any other card if you just want to pop that on something else, you know, that it looks great. I mean, there's so many sentiments on here that's really for all different occasions. And I'm going to put that little placard right there. Just eyeballing that. So thank you so much, Tonic, for sponsoring the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Just cleaning that off. How pretty is that? Very simple, very clean. I mean, we can add lots of other things in here, but I think I'm going to keep it just this way. Very pretty. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll have the links in the description box, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.